friends. This is Charlyn. I'm offering you another gentle yoga practice today that you can do anywhere. I'm doing it in a very small office area just to show that this can really be done anywhere. It can be done outside, your kitchen, your bathroom, your living room, wherever you are, wherever you have just a small amount of space, you can do this practice. We're going to start the practice by having our feet firmly planted on earth. So maybe about a hip width apart, let your feet be a gentle distance apart with both feet pointing forward. Knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips. So nice tall spine, nice alignment. Let your belly come in and up a bit, roll those shoulders down and let your shoulder blades just slide down your back. Allow your chin to be parallel to the earth. Let that crown of the head go up a little further to the sky. This is mountain pose, and this is a good, strong pose. When we're in this pose, nothing can really shake us, right? If somebody tries to push us, we're going to be very strong. If something tries to shake us, we're going to be strong. We're going to move, right? We can move in this pose. You can move forward, back, side to side, but we have a nice, strong base to build on for other yoga practices. So before we start, I'd just like to remind you to be aware of your body and where you are with your health, and only take the offerings that I provide if they're going to serve you. Be aware of your bodies, be aware of your health, only do what works for your body. I'm just offering this practice. It's not something that you have to do, and you don't have to do it all. I'll try to offer some different alternatives depending on where you are. So to start, let's have hands on hips, and we're just going to take one foot at a time and just come up onto the toes, then back onto the heel, up onto the toes, back onto the heel. So we're just going to start to get the lymph moving in our ankles a little bit, in our ankles and our feet. If this feels okay for you doing it 1 foot at a time, you can also come up onto both toes and then rock back onto your heels. So just rocking back and forth, but find what works for you and what works for your balance. So inhaling up and exhaling back. Just a gentle rocking motion to get that lymph starting to flow all the way down at your toes, all the way into your calves, getting the circulation going. And as a reminder, we know that if we're not moving, our lymph system isn't moving. And if our lymph system is not moving, it cannot support our immune system to help to remove foreign things from our bodies and take it to elimination. So now let your feet come to a nice steady position. Take both hands, put them right above your knees. We're just going to start to make some little circles. You might want to bring your feet a little closer together so that your knees can touch. So feet and knees are close together. And just little gentle circles with the knees. Looking forward and breathing. It's nice gentle inhales and exhales as you make these circles. So now we're getting that lymph moving in our knees, our big joints. We're bringing lots of fluid to those joints. So if we've been sitting, it might be a little stagnant in there, so this feels good. And then let those circles go the other way. Nice, gentle little circles, or whatever size circles feel good for you. Just nourishing the knees, nourishing the knees. And then we'll come to stillness here. Let those feet come a little wider apart again. Hands on hips. And we're going to do some really gentle hip circles. So just coming forward and back, making some little circles with your tailbone. You can think about that tailbone making circles in this position or with this movement. So just nice little circles. Whatever size circles feel good for you. You want to make them a little bigger, you can do that, but not necessary. And then we'll come to stillness again. Let hands just slide right up onto your shoulders, and we're going to make some elbow circles. So now we're getting that lymph moving in a big area that we have a lot of lymph nodes, which is under your armpits and at your clavicle, right around the base of your neck. Inhaling and exhaling, remembering to breathe. Make those circles go the other way now. Whatever size circle feels good for you. Great, and then let hands drop to your side. Let the chin come down towards your chest, whatever feels comfortable. So the back of your neck is real long, and we're just letting just the chin come forward. Not the whole head, just the chin. Just the chin comes forward. From this position, just feel that length in your neck, and then allow your chin to start to go back and forth towards your right shoulder and then your left shoulder. So imagining that your chin is like a pendulum, and it's just going from shoulder to shoulder. Nice and gentle, so it's not straining your neck. Just notice how that feels, and if you find any resistance along the way or something that would feel good if you just pause there for a moment. You can pause and rock the head a little bit, maybe releasing some tension, just letting that pendulum go back and forth. And then allowing the chin to stop right in the center of your chest, and then slowly bring that head back up. I'm just going to do a gentle tilting of the head up and down. So we're not taking the head way back. We're just going to look up at the sky and then look down at the floor. Up at the sky and down at the floor. Releasing tension, releasing any lymph that gets clogged up sometimes right behind the base of our head. Just releasing that up and down. And then coming to stillness. And then let's just glance out over the left shoulder, forward, the right shoulder. So just back and forth, looking out over each of the shoulders, or whatever the range of motion is for you that feels good. But just letting the head go, looking out from side to side, and then coming back to center. With feet still relatively close together, about hip width apart, we're going to start a practice that's called empty coat sleeves. So it's just an empty coat sleeve practice. So we're going to shake out those arms, shake out your arms to start, shake out the hands, and get ready. We're going to do this empty coat sleeves in 3 different parts. So we're going to start off by really allowing the empty coat sleeves to open up the top of our chest, opening up our chest in the front, and also the back of our heart area. So the whole upper body. A lot of times when we start to get tense and hold pressure, we tend to curl our shoulders in, and we don't allow this whole area to feel good. We also tend to hold a lot of tension behind our heart, like right in that heart area. So this can help with that. Keeping those feet about hip width apart, we're going to take a nice big inhale in the front, and then exhale and just go to one side. Inhale, bend the knees, exhale to the other. So inhaling and exhaling. And just allow those arms to flop around. You don't need to move them. Don't need to do anything other than just allow those arms to go. Imagine you had a coat on that was 10 sizes too big with great big long sleeves just falling down towards the floor, and just allow those coat sleeves to swing. Back and forth. Inhaling in the front, exhaling to the side. Big inhales. Really filling the belly with your inhales. Allowing the sleeves to just flop wherever they want. Maybe it's at your hips, maybe your thighs, maybe your waist. And then we'll come slowly back to stillness. As your arms come to your side, allow your eyes to either close or look gently towards the earth. Notice how you feel. Notice where you still feel motion. So we've stopped. We're not moving anymore. But notice where you might still feel motion. So maybe you have tingly fingers. Maybe you can still feel motion within your body. Just notice. No right or wrong answer, just notice. And then I invite you to notice, where do you feel stillness? Where is there stillness? Is there a still, quiet center, even with the movement that's happening? Where is that still, quiet center for you? For some, it may be the belly or your heart area. Just notice where your still, quiet center is. And know that that still, quiet center is always there for you. It's always there for you. No matter what's happening around you, you can always go back to that still, quiet center with the breath. Let's gently open eyes. Let's let the feet be a little bit wider apart. So hip width distance apart at least, but a little bit wider if that feels comfortable for you. Allow your feet to still point forward. So the feet are still pointing forward in this motion. We're going to start the empty coat sleeves again, and this time we're going to bend the knees a little bit as we do this forward, and still allow the motion to just come from hips, maybe up to shoulders. So we're not moving the knees from side to side. We're just moving the upper body, just the upper body. Let's inhale, bend the knees, exhale to the one side and then the other. Inhaling and exhaling. And gentle, very gentle. This doesn't have to be a big motion. It doesn't have to be super fast, just a nice, gentle motion. And that being said, if you feel like you'd like to speed this up, you can speed this up a little bit. When you do speed it up, or if you decide to do that, remember to protect your knees. So the knees are still pointing forward. Your movement is coming from your shoulders and your waist and maybe your hips a little bit, but it's not coming from your knees. Your knees are not going back and forth, going in any way that's uncomfortable for knees. So now we're moving lymph in the armpit areas, in the neck. So you want to look as you go from side to side. You can look out over the shoulder to the back. So you're moving the neck from side to side, head from side to side. And we're also starting to move the lymph more in our hip area, in our groin area with this motion. Slowing down, coming back to center. Closing eyes again or looking gently towards the earth. Notice how you feel. Notice what you feel. You feel your heart beating. Maybe your breath is a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit quicker from that movement. Maybe fingers and toes are a little bit tingly. Notice where you still feel motion. And then I invite you to feel that center, that stable center. Watching the breath in and out. Just gently open eyes. Hands on hips. I'd like you to come up onto the toes. So we're going to come down on the knees and then over, down on the knees and over. Coming up on your toes, one side at a time. So you're coming up on the toes on the left foot and then up on the toes on the right foot. And that's the same motion we're going to use. We're just going to add the empty coat sleeves to this. So what this does is it protects your knees. It's going to give you a little bit more of a range of motion with your empty coat sleeves, and your knees are going to be protected. So let's come back to stillness. Let those arms hang down, shake out those hands a little bit, roll those shoulders a little bit, let your shoulder blades go down your back. Take a nice big inhale, bend the knees, exhale to the side, coming up onto the toes. And you can have a nice big bend in your knees if that feels good for you. Really bending the knees. And then if it feels good, you can let your exhale be through your mouth. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Doing this at a pace that feels good for you. If I'm going a little too fast, you can slow it down. It's not about the speed, it's just about the motion. If this feels good for you and you want to speed it up, you can go ahead and do that too. And let's slow it down together, coming back to center and stillness. With your toes pointing forward, maybe bringing them in a little bit, letting your shoulders be steady. Let's bring hands out in front, and we're opening both palms nice and wide, and then making a fist. Not a really hard fist, but a little bit of a fist. I want you to close your eyes and imagine something that you're holding onto right now. The first thing that pops in your head is probably the right answer. So just imagine that. Let's all open our eyes together. So we're going to imagine what it feels like to be holding that in our hands and holding it tight. I'm going to take a nice big inhale. And with an exhale, we're going to release our hands, and we're going to release whatever it is that we're holding that doesn't serve us, that we don't need. So we're going to take an inhale, holding the fist. An exhale, let the fist go, let everything go. One more time. And exhale. Hands come back down to side. We're going to incorporate that concept of letting something go with the empty coat sleeves practice. So as we're doing the empty coat sleeves, with every exhale, I'm going to invite you to let some things go. And I'm going to make some suggestions to you about things that we can let go. But you can let go anything that you need to let go. That's just holding inside your body and maybe is not feeling real good right now. So remember, we're going to bend the knees as we come from side to side. We're going to do the big empty coat sleeves. And adjust your legs wherever they want. Sometimes it feels good for the legs to be a little bit further apart or a little closer together. Find what works for you. Hands by the side. I'm going to take a nice big inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, come to the side. And I want you to exhale through your mouth. And we're going to start to let some things go. So on the next 2 or 3, let's let go of fear. So inhaling, exhaling fear. Big inhale in, and then let that fear go with a big exhale. You can just fly right off your fingertips. And maybe we bring some anxiety into there, letting that go. Letting go of some things like sluggishness too, right? Let go of sluggishness. Anything else, this is your chance to just let some things roll off your fingertips that maybe you're holding. And then let's slow down. We'll come back to center, nice and slow. So we've left a lot of things go, right? We've left a lot of things go. And when that happens, we create space. We create space in our hearts. We create space in our bodies. We've just created space in all of our joints, created space in our lungs, all around our heart. So when we do that, we want to fill that space with something. And I'm going to make some suggestions of some things that we can fill that space with. So to fill the space, we're going to have a little bit of a breath here. We're just going to inhale up, all the way up, and then we're going to exhale down right into our heart. So I'll make some suggestions on what we're going to bring into our heart. So let's sweep this up, all the way up, and exhale down. We're going to bring peace into our heart. Big inhale, scoop all that peace up from the earth, from the sky, bring it right into your heart. One more time, peace. This time we're going to bring compassion. Compassion for ourselves. Compassion for others. And lastly, we're going to bring lots of love into our heart. So really reach up, really pull all that love into your heart. Inhaling all the way up. Love for yourself and love for others. Pausing for a moment, hands in front of heart. I want to thank you for practicing today. This practice can be saved, and you can go ahead and use it anytime that you would like a little practice for moving lymph, for letting things go, and for bringing some peace and love and compassion into your heart. Namaste, Jai Bhagwan, have a wonderful day.